Hello and welcome to Galahad Reviews. I'm Galahad, and today I am going to be comparing two titans of wireless gaming, the Logitech G Pro Wireless and the Razer Viper Ultimate. 5 years ago, gaming competitively with a wireless mouse was science fiction, but in 2016, Logitech released the G900 with their new LIGHTSPEED wireless and changed the entire gaming mouse market with their ability to be faster than most wired mice. It has taken years for other companies to even come close. Razer is now entered the arena, but who will come out on top? Let's find out. It's time to get nerdy. The Logitech G Pro Wireless comes equipped with LIGHTSPEED wireless. All caps, that's critical. They were the pioneers who brought wireless mice to the foreground of competitive gaming, as they solved the fundamental problems of latency, stability, and connectivity. They got to the point where in many cases, it was beating other competitors' wired connections. They achieved this through meticulous programming that ensured that every component in the line processed data as quickly as possible, which provided a robust connection while still consuming low amounts of energy, even in the most data-saturated gaming environments. A more in-depth look on their wireless can be found on the card on the screen right now or in the description down below, where Linus Tech Tips went to the Logitech Danielle Borel Innovation Center where they showed off their wireless technology. Through their genius, they became the benchmark to beat. The Viper Ultimate comes with Razer's new wireless dubbed HyperSpeed. No caps, because caps are for losers. They boast that their wireless is 25% faster than any other wireless gaming technology. Remember, like 2 minutes ago, when I said that Logitech has been the benchmark to beat? Yeah, well, Razer beat it. Razer measured the speed in microseconds, aka USEC. For comparison, 1 second is equal to 1 million microseconds. 1 millisecond is 1,000 microseconds. So Logitech's wireless, assumedly, as they don't specifically say, but we can all make a well-educated guess, comes in at 270 USEC, and Razer's comes in at less than 195 USEC or microseconds. Results from human benchmark from myself and others on average are faster for the Viper Ultimate, not by much, but they are faster while using less energy, which also means longer battery life. The Viper Ultimate also uses adaptive frequency technology, which scans available channels every millisecond for any form of interference, then switches frequencies when a faster one becomes available to ensure that your mouse is always operating as fast as possible. This allows them to stay around 1000 Hz on average compared to 990 Hz from the competition, Logitech. I have used the LIGHTSPEED wireless since 2016 and the HyperSpeed since October 2019. Based purely on the data, HyperSpeed wireless is faster than the LIGHTSPEED wireless. I have never noticed a single dip, lag, or loss of transmission with either. If you're enjoying this video so far, make sure to give it a like, as that lets me know that I'm making good content, and it also increases the likelihood that YouTube will recommend this video to others. If you're not enjoying this video, just give it a little bit more time. I'm just kidding. You can dislike it if you'd like. The Logitech G Pro Wireless comes equipped with Omron mechanical switches rated for 50 million clicks. They use Logitech's mechanical button tensioning system for their left and right click, which uses a metal spring to tighten the click and separates the left and right key plates, providing you with a more consistent experience regarding travel distance and actuation force. Translated to English, this allows each and every click to feel tight, yet light, and almost exactly the same. This mechanical button tensioning system is why Logitech mice are praised so much on their click presence. Traditional mechanical switches, like those found on the Logitech G Pro Wireless, send an electrical signal when two metallic pieces hit each other, creating a residual bouncing effect while they reset. A debounce delay is then added to prevent additional signals, aka clicks, from being sent. If this malfunctions, it results in a double click, which the G Pro Wireless was notorious for back when it first came out. Further generations allowed this to get a little bit better, but that is still a common side effect that you do hear about the Logitech G Pro Wireless or any mouse that has mechanical switches. However, Razer's optical switch works by opening a shutter to allow an infrared light beam to pass through, which then sends us an electrical signal to the PC, making actuation at the speed of light. This makes them completely immune to double clicks, as the absence of any residual bouncing means there is no need for a debounce delay, which also makes them faster. This gives you a response time of 0.2 milliseconds, which is 3 times faster than traditional mechanical switches. As an added bonus, with that lack of contact, it also reduces wear and tear, bringing the durability up to 70 million clicks from 50 million, which is a 40% increase. When comparing the difference between a traditional mechanical switch and an optical switch in real life scenarios, you likely won't notice much of a difference. The biggest difference you will see is the immunity to double clicks. Moving on to the sensor, let's discuss some terms real fast. DPI stands for dots per inch, which is the amount of distance your cursor moves on the screen. So if you have 800 DPI, it means your mouse will move 800 dots per inch on your screen. IPS stands for inches per second, which is how much distance a mouse can cover per second before it cannot continue to track. G stands for G-force, which is the net acceleration that is imparted on an object due to the combined effect of gravitation and centrifugal force. G equals 9.81 meters per second squared. In other words, force, me moving the mouse, produces compressive stress and tensile stress, which results in operation sensation of weight to the sensor. The higher it can withstand, the more accurate it will be when presented with quick movements, aka flicks. The Logitech G Pro Wireless is using Logitech's new sensor dubbed Hero. It has zero smoothing, acceleration, or filtering from 100 to 16,000 DPI with greater than 400 inches per second and can withstand greater than 40 Gs. It uses 10 times less power than its predecessor, the PMW 3366, while remaining just as accurate. The 3366 is a variant of the Pixart PMW 3360, which was deemed for a long time to be the best sensor on the market until just recently. Most other mice that you find on the market are still using this sensor, such as the glorious Model O, Final Mouse Ultralight, or the Ultralight 2. The Razer Viper Ultimate uses Razer's newest sensor called the Focus Plus. It also has zero smoothing, acceleration, or filtering from 100 to 20,000 DPI with 99.6% resolution accuracy. It boasts 650 inches per second. That means it can move 54 feet in a second and still be accurate. What? It can withstand 50 G. They also teamed up with Pixar and added new intelligent functions, making the mouse even more accurate. The first is smart tracking. With previous sensors for optimal precision, you would need to calibrate your sensor to a new surface, or else it would cause the liftoff distance, or the distance at which the sensor stops tracking when picked up, to be inconsistent. With smart tracking, it automatically calibrates itself across surfaces, which ensures your liftoff distance and therefore overall accuracy remains consistent. This is adjustable in Razer Synapse 3. The second is asymmetric cutoff, which allows you to set a landing distance, aka the distance at which your mouse resumes tracking. You want this to be as low as possible to prevent cursor drift as your mouse touches the surface. This is also adjustable in Synapse 3. The third is motion sync. The best way to explain this is that your PC extracts information at certain intervals. Other mice don't align perfectly with these intervals, which means your mouse is actually at a different position than it appears to be on the screen. But motion sync lines up the exact intervals your PC extracts information with the mouse position for the most consistent tracking. Another way to put this is it's G-Sync, but for your mouse. Most of this sounds like a gimmick, don't get me wrong, but it's not, as when combined together it gives your mouse better precision. So we just went through a bunch of complicated terms. Some of you may have glazed over, so let me sum up what all this information means. The Razer Viper Ultimate is better in every single category. It has the better switches, the better wireless, and the better sensor. Each of these taken individually won't lead to much of a difference. However, in combination with each other, it creates a mouse that has low response times than others and also feels more responsive. This is proven by reaction speed tests from myself and others, which are on average faster with the Viper Ultimate over the G Pro Wireless. I can also feel it while using the mouse, most notably in pixel aiming, as I have better control over the sensor, hit more of my shots, and they are easier to line up. The best way that I can describe this is the difference between a 144 Hz monitor versus a 240 Hz one. With 240 Hz, your delay is reduced, you see more of what is happening, and it is smoother, leading to you being more accurate and performing at a higher level. This is hard to notice when not comparing side to side, but you can feel it once you move back to 144 Hz as you stop or have a more difficult time hitting those shots that you were hitting before. You can actually see this difference when using a high-speed camera or gear, neither of which I have, so I can't show you, so you'll just have to take my word or do some additional research watching some some other videos. Moving on to what comes in the box. The Logitech G Pro Wireless comes with the Pro Wireless Gaming Mouse, the LIGHTSPEED USB receiver, USB charging / data cable, optional receiver, extension adapter, optional side buttons, 2 times left, 2 times right, optional button covers, 2 times left, 2 times right, user documentation, and a 2-year limited warranty. The Razer Viper Ultimate, on the other hand, comes with Razer Viper Ultimate Wireless Gaming Mouse, a Razer mouse dock, HyperSpeed USB receiver, USB HyperFlex cable, user documentation, and a 2-year limited warranty. So let's talk about the focused similarities of both of these mice. Both have excellent wireless sensors, battery life, response time, tracking, feel, and clicks. They are both ambidextrous with similar shapes and button layout. They both support up to 8 buttons. They both have a DPI switch on the bottom of the mouse. Both cost $150. You can buy the Viper Ultimate for $129 directly from Razer, but that doesn't come with the dock, which I highly recommend. I also don't think that you can find it in retail stores without the dock, which is why I just rounded up and just said that it always costs $150. So moving on to the focus differences that we haven't already discussed, we are going to start from the top and then move down from there. I'll also refer to the Logitech G Pro Wireless as the G Pro and the Razer Viper Ultimate as the Viper. Don't get these mixed up with the actual Logitech G Pro and the Razer Viper. Starting off with the left and right clicks, the G Pro requires a light amount of actuation force, where the Viper requires a mild to moderate amount of pressure. The Viper click is louder and feels more tactile. They both score a point depending on user preference. The G Pro has better side buttons. They require a light amount of pressure to actuate and stick out, which actually allows you to use the side of your thumb to actuate. Last, they are modular, so they can be changed based on your preference. The Viper, on the other hand, has recessed side buttons, which require a mild to moderate amount of pressure to actuate. This makes it difficult to press without direct pressure. They aren't modular, which can lead to you accidentally clicking the other side when gaming. This happened enough for me that I just disabled them. The G Pro wins this round. Up next is the scroll wheel. They are both excellent. They have distinguished steps and require a mild to moderate amount of pressure to press. The only difference is the Viper is more textured, while the G Pro is smoother. Also, the G Pro sticks out a little bit more from the mouse, where the Viper Ultimate is a little lower down, which means moving it on the Viper is actually a little more smoother because your finger doesn't have to move as much. But both of them score a point here. Moving on to the RGB lighting, the G Pro has 2 zones. One is the DPI and the other is the Logitech G logo. The Viper has a single zone, which is the Ouroboros logo. Viper's lighting is a bit brighter and definitely more accurate. A point goes to Razer for this one. Moving on to the battery life, with the lights off, the G Pro comes in at 60 hours, which equates to about 6 days of 10-hour gaming sessions before you need to recharge, compared to Razer's 70 hours, which gives you an entire day more of gaming, which means you only have to charge your mouse once a week. However, Logitech has something called Power Play, which allows your mouse to recharge on their Power Play mouse mat, which Razer does not offer as far as I am aware. Power Play option is expensive, coming in at $120. It adds extra weight to your mouse, and it limits overall movement because the mouse mat is a lot smaller than what you could buy otherwise, which leads me to think that most won't invest in it. It also doesn't come stock, which makes Razer win this round as well. Both have 5 onboard profiles. However, Logitech scores a point as it can store customized lighting. Why you can't do this with the Viper is still unknown to me. The G Pro is 6 grams heavier than the Viper. The Viper also has better mouse feet. The Viper scores a point as the mouse feet difference isn't substantial, but you can feel the weight difference, as surprising as that is. Moving on to accessories, the Viper comes in with a mouse dock that holds the USB receiver, the HyperFlex cable, and has 2 prongs that you can place the mouse on to charge when you aren't using it. The G Pro comes with a receiver extension adapter that holds the USB receiver and the cable needed to charge your device. I much prefer Razer's version of this, as it is much more practical and justifies the high cost of the mouse a bit more. The Viper scores yet another point. Jumping into the software, Logitech uses G Hub, which has a simple layout and works almost all the time. It's relatively basic, but when doing more complex things, gets a bit confusing. Whereas Razer uses Synapse 3, which is incredibly robust and can do a lot of things, but requires a large learning curve and also doesn't like to work. This is arguable, but most people don't do all that complex of things with their peripherals, so point goes to Logitech for its simplicity and it working all the time. Earlier, we discussed that the sensor, switches, and wireless are superior on the Viper. People say that you won't be able to notice it, but I have every time I test it compared to other mice, including the Logitech G Pro Wireless, which means another point goes to the Viper. Moving on to shape, they are both ambidextrous, but the overall shape of the G Pro is likely to be more comfortable for the majority over the Viper. Therefore, as with the G Pro, it has a more pronounced back where the Viper has less of one, and I think just that alone, among other things, makes it a little more comfortable on the G Pro. Therefore, Logitech scores another point. That brings the grand total of 6 points to the Logitech G Pro Wireless and 7 points to the Razer Viper Ultimate. Moving on to the conclusion. Here's the thing. Both of these mice are absolutely incredible. They are packed full of amazing tech and are an absolute joy to use. You can tell that the amount of work that went into creating these masterpieces is staggering. When looking objectively at the tech, the Razer Viper Ultimate is better. That's just a fact. I feel a noticeable difference, and I have heard that others do as well. But I can't choose a winner for you, as it completely comes down to your preferences, as you won't be disappointed if you choose either one of these. As I state in my gaming mice videos, what's truly important is finding a mouse that has the best shape, size, and weight for you. For me personally, I chose the Viper Ultimate because it has better wireless, switches, weight, performance, and battery life for me. I don't mind the shape, but it isn't perfect for me. I actually prefer the G Pro wireless shape more. However, with the addition of the mouse dock, which not only looks great, but also serves a great function, and you've got my winner. As the price for the product feels more justified, I'd be interested to hear which one you guys end up choosing, so let me know in the comment section below. Anyways, that is the end of this video. If you liked this video, leave a like. If you didn't like this video, leave a dislike. And of course, if you've been following my content for a while, make sure to hit that subscribe button and make sure to turn on bell notifications so you know when I upload a new video. I will see you and your beautiful face on the next one. God bless and peace out.